Hi. Oh dear. Okay. Hi guys. Hey Brave Bears. Um, little technical difficulty getting started, but better late than never. So, hey. If you got the newsletter and you read about all of the different launches that are going on right now, I basically shared that I haven't been doing this free coaching series, which was called Shin Kicking Mondays for about 6 years now. It's been a while. And so recently, with all of the launches that I've been doing, which I'll share a little bit here later in today's free coaching, wanted to let you know that I'm trying out this Facebook Live thing. It's very brand new to me. 6 years ago, I don't think we had a Facebook Live. We were using Google Hangouts at the time, which I don't know if that still exists. If it does, it's a different name now. But basically, why not? Why not offer free coaching at a time when the world really needs people like us intuitives, us healers, us spiritual folks? And so I'm going to try to get this going. I'm going to try to see how the Facebook Live platform works. If it doesn't work to my liking or to your liking, then I may use a different platform. But I'm going to try to do this. You know, Monday blues are a thing. I would used to say a thing of the past when I was in the corporate world, but even with your own business, or if you are a little bit more independent than working in the corporate world or in an office 9 to 5, Mondays can still be a little tricky. You got to get in the mindset of getting yourself prepared to tackle this week ahead. And we've got so much that we want to accomplish in this world. So it doesn't seem like we have enough hours in a day or enough days in a week or enough, weeks in a year to accomplish what we want. So hence Shin Kicking Mondays. So, all right, let's get started. I'm going to freestyle, by the way, with these Shin Kicking Monday sessions. So there is no agenda other than there are a couple things that I want to accomplish. One, I want to make sure that whatever comes through from my divine wisdom or from what I call my spirit team, that I can share whatever the intention is or the special message that we all as a group need to receive today to not only get us going for the day in terms of being inspired and being motivated, but also throughout the week and throughout the month. Many times I find that we jump right into things and we get to work and we don't allow ourselves that time to get centered or grounded or prepared to tackle what's ahead of us. So we often react and we often fly at the seat of our pants to get things done. But the reality is, if we just take a few moments every morning before we get started to pause and to give ourselves that opportunity to um, really get in touch with our intuition and really get in touch with our feelings and our thoughts, that will really help us to better guide our days and then also better, be productive and more effective throughout the week. So, setting the intention and making sure that the intention is for the moment by being present and allowing whatever message, whatever divine message wants to come through, that's going to be the most important thing I want to accomplish in these Shin Kicking Mondays. And then following that, if I can figure out how to do this because I'm new to Facebook Live, then I will open the floor for the opportunity to channel any other messages that want to come through if you have a specific question about life, work, love, or anything at all as time permits. I'm going to try to keep these sessions down to about 30 minutes so that you can get on with your day. But the great thing is that these sessions will be recorded, so you can always come back and replay it if you ever need, inspiration or motivation. So, with that being said, before I get into the intention setting, I did want to let you know the one mantra that came to mind about 5 minutes before 10 o'clock today, 10 o'clock Central Time today. And I was hearing the phrase, feel it, then free it. Okay. I think that's going to help us cement today's conversation with maybe something that we've all been going through, maybe fears or worries or doubts that we've had recently. And so I am led to believe that the channeling that's going to come through for all of us this morning is probably going to be in alignment with this mantra. But I wanted to make sure I at least share that mantra before I start the channeling. Okay, so with that said, let's get started. It's a little weird because I usually don't channel on a video in front of a live audience, but it's not about me. This is about getting the messages to come through that want to come through for all of us today so that we can get about our Monday and get about the rest of our week. So, that being said, I'm going to invite you to get comfortable however you can, wherever you are. If you're driving or you're being active right now as you're watching or listening to this, don't worry about it. I don't want you to get distracted. But if you do have a place where you can sit comfortably or lie down comfortably, we're just going to take a few moments here to get comfortable. And feel free to close your eyes if you need to. If you want to keep them open, just kind of have gaze at something in front of you where you're not completely focused on what it is. You're allowing yourself to free your mind of the thoughts and the inner chatter that you might have right now. So it's about focusing your attention on just being still and just being centered and just being present and here for the moment as we allow the divine message to come through that wants to come through for all of us. So with that, let's take a few moments here to find that stillness, to find that comfortable spot, and again, to allow ourselves the ability to be present, and to be still, so that we can allow whatever messages that want to come through to come through. If your eyes are closed, feel free to keep them closed still. If they are open, feel free to direct your attention back to the video or look into the distance if you need. And I'm going to let the message come through that wants to come through. Think of this as an intention setting. Think of this as a healing. Think of this as a divine message for all of us. It's okay to be afraid. Feel the fear, then free it. It's okay to worry that you're not enough, but feel the doubt and free it. It's okay to wonder if anybody will ever pay attention to what you're doing and what you have to offer the world. Feel the self consciousness, then free it. It's okay to not want to do all the big things that you want to do in the world for today. Feel the rest and relaxation, then free it. It's okay to get paid for doing the things that you love. Feel the guilt, then free it. It's okay to sit in silence and not hear a single damn message come through. Feel the quiet, then free it. It's okay to know that you are special and to still have fear showing the world your special gifts. Feel the shame, then free it. It's okay to not be okay. Feel the sadness, then free it. It's okay to worry about everybody and everything. Feel the anxiety, then free it. It's not okay to not share your gifts with the world. Feel the reluctance, then free it. Okay. Um, Trying to sense if there's anything else that wants to come through that's being channeled. And it was fantastic because the feeling it and freeing it mantra unexpectedly really encapsulated the divine message that came through for all of us today. And it's amazing because oftentimes the things that I coach about and the things I talk about and share with the Brave Bear community often is something that I am actually either currently going through or have gone through. And I find that many of you respond to me and say, "Me too." so so as I'm channeling these messages that come through, when I'm sitting in silence with myself, it's typically divine messages for me. If I am doing a reading for somebody privately, then it's typically the divine message for them. But because we're co-creating the space today, this free coaching series called Shin Kicking Mondays, what the messages that are being co-created right now are really for me, Bernie, and for all of you, Brave Bears, who have allowed yourself the space and the stillness and the presence with me to facilitate the message that wants to come through for you. And today, it really sounds like there is a lot of fear, there's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of depression, there's a lot of, well, and by the way, and validly so. I mean, we're living in unprecedented times right now with a lot of horrific things going on, a lot of scary stuff, and people getting sick, and people dying, and people losing jobs, and people being short of cash. And my goodness, I would be naive to believe that if I just told you, I'd be naive to tell you that if you just believe that everything's going to be okay, that it's going to be okay. But the reality is this: I want you to trust that things are going to be okay, but trust alone, I don't believe is going to be good enough. We still need to take action. And here in the Brave Bear community, if there's anything I've been preaching over the years that I've been doing this work as your coach and trainer and um, intuitive guide, if you will, is that we can all feel whatever emotion it is that we're feeling. And what can also exist is we can still take action to plow through it, to move past it, to break through it, and to still move forward in spite of that fear or in spite of whatever emotion it is that is um, kind of holding us hostage or causing us to feel stuck. Um, what I really hope for me and for you, the Brave Bear community, and what I'm really hoping for this free coaching series is that it gives you some sort of inspiration and motivation today in this moment at this present time to help you get through whatever challenge it is that you need to get through. People often talk about, joining a retreat or going on a vacation or doing something really lavish and complicated to get yourself centered and grounded and focused and, let the spirituality come in. And the reality is we don't all have a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of resources to be able to do that. So, what if we did this in bite-sized chunks? What if we did these small little Monday sessions and forced ourselves? Many times we have to do that if we're not good with meditation. Forced ourselves to find the stillness and this grounding that we need to allow these messages to come through instead of all of the inner chatter and racing thoughts that we constantly have that don't allow us to be in touch with our intuition. So I'm going to do some quick hellos since I kind of jumped right into it. And again, I apologize for the delay. My first Facebook Live. Thought I knew what I was doing. I guess I do now, but it took a little bit there. Hello, Frank. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Susan. If anybody wants to say hi, feel free to comment. If you're a little shy, you can just do a little like or a little heart. I don't even know how this thing works. So whatever little emoji you want to press, go ahead and press it right now. I think I'll get better at this. And a side note here, by the way, I've been reluctant to get on Facebook. I have been, I guess I'll admit it, I'll call it, I've been anti-social media for a few years now, since I went behind the scenes with my work. And I've been nudged gently and lovingly by a lot of peers who do this work that I do as well, who say, we really need you right now. We really need your face. We really need your voice. We really need your presence. And I know you hate Facebook. I know you hate social media, but this is the way for you to connect with the people that you want to help. So you got to stop hiding, Bernie. You got to stop hiding in those shadows and get your ass out there. Pardon my French. So, hello, here I am. I am committing to being a part of the solution and being part of the contribution to helping this world be a better place. And though I can probably do that behind the scenes and lurking in the shadows, I think a greater use of my time and my impact would be to do what I do best. And what I do best is being able to inspire and motivate people, especially at that time when you are feeling most anxious and most depressed, and you can find it difficult at times to get up that day or to want to make an impact that day because there's so much going on. I've been there before so many times in my life over the past 20 some years that I've been a professional, and for the past about 11 years since I've been a coach and a trainer. And I get really good at it, but I'll be very honest with you, I am not done learning and I am not done being great at doing this work and being resilient. It takes time, excuse me, it takes practice, everyday practice. So I can still be great tomorrow at it. And then the following day, if I'm having a bad day, which I did the other week, I was suffering from something that kind of felt like chronic fatigue, if I want to give it a name. Um, we are all not immune to stress and anxiety happening to us. So we can continue to get better and we will get better, but you don't stop learning and you're not finished with that journey. You know, the challenges will return. And this is what I often tell people that I coach. I often say, we just get better at closing the gap, right? The gap shortens and shortens the better and better we get at it, but you're never exempt from shit happening to you. So hence Shin Kicking Mondays and free coaching for me. All right. So feel it, then free it is the mantra, the intention I really want you to take into your Monday with you today and throughout the rest of the week to hold you over. Anytime you're feeling that emotion that causes you to feel stuck or to question yourself, question your self-worth, and um, I guess impact how productive and effective you feel that day. Thinking about what it is that you were worrying about, and then allowing yourself to feel it, move through that emotion, and then free it. I think that's the best thing that you can do for yourself. It's not too much to ask. I recently went through training for transcendental meditation, and without going into great detail about really how it works, what I can tell you is it's a very practical way of meditating. And some of the ways that I was taught to meditate prior to, they call it TM, prior to TM, was I would be told to sit in silence and not allow any thoughts to come, and I'd have to push away the thoughts. And the reality of that is, we're human beings. We're always constantly thinking about things. There's always something on our mind. So to tell us to not think and to be free of thought, I think is really difficult. And then what ends up happening is we judge ourselves. Well, I can't meditate. I'm not good at meditating. I mean, how many times have you guys said that to somebody? I know I have. Hit your like or your heart or your emoji button or whatever. I don't even know what it's called. I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, if you agree, okay, because with this practical transcendental meditation, what I've learned is very similar to this mantra about feeling it, then freeing it. It's about allowing yourself to have that feeling. Allow yourself to think about the thing that is on your mind, but then to quickly realize, okay, I'm thinking it, I'm feeling it, let it go. Okay. And as you let things go, you allow the headspace and the heart space for the things that do want to come through that will be more constructive and productive for you, right? Because the reality is, many times when we get paralyzed in our thoughts and um, we end up sinking into a depression, it's because we're thinking too much about what we're unable to do. And that can cause us to feel disempowered. That can cause us to feel um, helpless, like there's nothing we can do about it. So, what do? We continue to just sit there and sulk and continue to feel helpless for as long as we need to until we can finally get our asses back up again. But if we allowed ourselves to say, every single one of us human beings struggles, every single one of us has fears, has worries, has bills to pay, has personal challenges, has professional challenges. Every single one of us is going through something, and that is a fact. I don't know what it is, but every single one of us is going through something, and that is true. And because that is true, I can allow myself to say, I am no different than these other people who are still able to get up, break through that, and free that emotion so that I can move forward, so I can move my body, and so I can take the action I want to take towards a productive and constructive result. Okay. And I'm going to use Facebook and social media as an example because I, I think this is part of the reason why I boycotted social media for such a long time, and I think this is going to be really important for all of us to consider the next time we want to judge ourselves, right, or compare ourselves against somebody. When we go onto social media and we look through our news feed or our timelines, and we're seeing what everybody else is doing or experiencing or eating. Um, Oftentimes we're seeing these pictures and these posts about how wonderful life is, about how happy we are, about how gorgeous our face looks under the light, and how flawless our hair is curled today, and our six-pack abs, and our six-figure incomes, and our nice shiny new car, and this awesome cool little gadget that I got from my computer, and we curate all the beautiful, glamorous content that we want people to see. And I'm not shaming anybody for doing this. I'm just saying we are creatures of habit. We are human beings who want to feel validated and who feel want to feel loved and who want to gain that attention, and oftentimes it's attention that we want to grab that reminds us that we've made it, or that we've come such a long way, or we've come so far in life, and we want people to to see how successful we are. And I think many times, 9 times out of 10, I think it's done for our own well-being. I think many times we post things that are happy and beautiful and great and shiny because we it makes us feel better to show people something positive. And I think that what we forget in the process of only showing the happy, shiny, positive, bubbly, glamorous sides of our lives is that those who are following and those who are watching, and even sometimes ourselves, we're not allowing people to see the messier moments of our lives. So, a couple of things can happen. Someone can look at your beautiful, glamorous stream and say, wow, that perfect person is perfect. That person has everything. Good for them. However, poor me, because now I'm going to compare myself against them, and I feel like crap because I don't have what they have. I don't live the life they live. I'm not as pretty or not as handsome as they are. I'm not as rich as they are. I'm not as successful. I'm not making as much impact, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That can happen. Okay. But what can also happen too is one can also say, my goodness, look at that person. Um, I want to be just like them, so I'm going to go and mimic everything that they do. I'm going to get my hair done like them. I'm going to do my makeup like them. I'm going to buy the things that they have. I'm going to try to do the job that they have. And so now we have these people mimicking these other people who have these supposed perfect lives, right? But here's the danger in those two scenarios, regardless of what scenario it is that you're actually experiencing. What's happening is now everybody's being fake. Okay, and I'm not saying that all the positive stuff is all fake. What I'm saying is if you're only showing the positive sides and you're only showing the glamour and the glitz, but you're not willing to show the messier sides of your life, right? Then what's happening is you're giving this a false perception that your life only looks and feels one way, and people are either going to feel badly when they compare themselves to you, or they're going to mimic everything you do, and now we've got a bunch of imitations out there all over. um Perpetrate, what's it called? Yes, yes, what's the word? Not perpetrating, I can't think of the word right now. um oh my goodness, I'm having a brain fart live. Well, I'll just use a different way of saying it. Adding to the issue, which I believe the issue is there are too many of us putting stuff out there that's not showing the authentic sides of who we are. And we end up feeling like we have to live up to that perception that we've given people. And then we also put other people up on a pedestal. And then we feel like crap because we are not as worthy as they are. We're not as good as them. We're not as successful as them. And so anyway, all this to say, places like Facebook and places like social media can also be damaging to a person if that is what you're experiencing and if that is what's happening to you. Okay. I know that's happened to me. And part of the reason why I took a hiatus from Facebook and social media, and when I say I took a hiatus, I mean that I was still on and active, but I literally was only coming on, and still to this day, I'm only coming on maybe once a day or a couple times a week because I do not want to fall into the trap of he or she has more, therefore they are better. And we can't help it but do that. And that exacerbates the issue when you already are anxious or already depressed. And that will make you want to fall and sink further into that place of anxiety and depression if you continually compare yourself against others. And why go to a platform that can, well, 100% of the time, it will create the opportunity for you to feel that way unless you protect yourself. Great things about places like Facebook are things like this Facebook Live. It's a double-edged sword. I don't like coming on social media, but I love being on social media because it allows me to connect with all of you brave bears and for me to cultivate a community outside of my newsletter, which is where I originally engage and connect with you guys. But I don't want to just be a person, behind the screen with a bunch of texts that gets emailed to you every, week or every periodically whenever I send you a newsletter email. I want to also be able to engage you like this. I want you to see and feel my expressions and my emotions. I want you to know how much conviction I have and dedication I have, um, because I really want to make a difference in the world, and I can't do that hiding behind a screen, and neither can you. Regardless of how you're showing up in the world and the work you're doing, you don't have to be a coach and a trainer like me to make an impact and to make a contribution and do positive stuff in the world that makes a difference. Okay? You can be anything in the world and still make a difference. I've got a bunch of essential workers in my immediate family, got nurses and teachers and um, people who really are putting their life on the line to do their job well, and make sure nobody gets hurt in the process. They're not coaching and training, but they're doing some damn good work. They're making a difference, especially during this current pandemic. And so if you ever question yourself at any time because you're not doing enough, or you don't have enough, or you don't feel like you're contributing enough, there's two things you can do about it. One, feel the fear, right? Feel the anxiety, feel the depression, and then free it so that you can remind yourself, I am enough. Okay? That's the one biggest, most important thing I want you to take away today. Because if there's anything I can ask you to do, I can ask you to do that. And you have no excuse to tell me that you can't do that, because that is a simple thing to do. Not always easy to believe, but it's a simple action you can take today. The second action you can take is, if you are not feeling enough, if you're not feeling that you are contributing the way you really want to make a difference in the world, then go out and find something to back up and to support and to contribute yourself to. And that can be through time, it could be through money, it could be through um, well, basically those are the two biggest things you can do, but there's always something you can do. There's no excuse not to do something that matters to you. I know the third thing you can do. You can build something, right? Like how I built the show pretty much overnight. The concept has been there for 6 years, but I literally decided I want to do this. And I decided that on Sunday morning, whipped up the little thumbnail photo, put this thing together, having no idea how the heck to use Facebook Live because I've never done it before, and then put it out there. And I had to let go of the fear that, what if nobody shows up? What if nobody cares? What if nobody needs this or wants this? Then you just wasted your time. And who are you to think that this mattered, right? I mean, all of those thoughts were in my mind as I put it together. But I felt the fear and I freed it. And here was the bigger reason why I was able to do that quite easily. It was because making this kind of difference that I want to make through coaching and training you guys online like this, free and affordably, if outside of here at a couple of my websites, I do offer online coaching and training. Um, if this is how I show up in the world and I do this well, then I can't deny myself the opportunity to do this. And so I had to swallow that ego, swallow that pride, And I had to decide, was it important enough that this work needs to get out there so I can help you guys? Yes. Okay, if that's the case, suck it up, be a woman, and then go and make that shin kicking stuff happen, Bernie. So then I did. So here I am. So I'm encouraging you, whatever it is that you're sitting on, whatever it is that you're waiting to do, and there's that little bit of fear left, if 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 what you want to do matters so much and it can help you to make that positive difference and contribute in the world like you've never done before, then you absolutely have to swallow that pride, swallow that ego, feel all those emotions, and then free it, and then share yourself with the world. Okay. And when I say the world, I'm not talking about, blasting it everywhere. I'm talking even your corner of the world. It could be 20 people that you know. It could be, if you have a newsletter list yourself, the people on your newsletter list. If you have a Facebook group, it could just be the people in your Facebook group. Heck, it could even just be, do you have, 3 close people that you know that you want to help? Email them, text them, call them separately, help one person at a time. It doesn't have to look like global impact today, because global impact doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. It takes time, it takes persistence, it takes consistency, and it takes a village. It takes all of us doing all of this great work together and co-creating all over the place so that the globe can feel that impact someday. And that might happen long after we're all gone here. Okay, to be respectful of everybody's time, I'm going to now open the floor for any questions. Go ahead and put your question in the comment if you have a question for me. Realize that any question that comes through here, I'm obviously going to be responding publicly. So feel free to just share something that is not quite as private, but still also important for you, that you want a divine message to come through today for you. So go ahead, and I'm going to take a look here at the comments to see if anybody's left a comment already or going to leave a comment, but go ahead and feel free to ask your question. Um, I'm going to allot about maybe another 5 or so minutes. I don't want us to stay here too long. And again, my apologies for starting so late. But yes, I'm going to give you guys some time because I know sometimes people can be gun shy. So go ahead and leave a comment, ask your question, and I'll go ahead and give you an intuitive response. My goodness, I did not scroll. Sorry, guys. See what I mean? I'm learning. I'm learning how to use this. I sat here and they've got all these comments to go through that I did not see. So my apologies. I am just skimming through all the comments. Thank you guys. Okay. Well, I'm going to share some of the comments and I'm going to answer a question. So, hi, Happy. I didn't say hi to you before. Hi, Anne. Thank you for being here. Sorry for the delay in starting the video. Okay. Frank's asking about TM. I think I need TM. How do I find that info? Okay, awesome. So by the way, I don't get paid for plugging these guys, but Transcendental Meditation is what it's called. I believe you can find it at tm.org. If that's not the right website, go ahead and just Google Transcendental Meditation. But basically, it was founded by a guy named Maharishi. And actually, here's the really cool thing about it. The reason why I started getting the TM training is because I actually am starting a brand new master's program this fall. And I'm going to become an Ayurvedic practitioner. So it's a Master of Science in Ayurveda and integrative medicine. But anyway, the founder of the school, Maharishi International University, he founded the meditation called transcendental meditation. And the best way for me to describe it to you is it's a practical way that every single one of us, if we meditate, at least 2 times a day. I do it for, if I can get around to doing it. The past few days have been pretty busy, so I haven't been doing it religiously. But 2 times a day, 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the afternoon, it really helps you to stay centered and focused. And it's a very practical way of meditating. I know that they do sliding scale based on whether you're a student or whether you're self-employed or whether you work for a corporation or whatnot. So just Google it, Transcendental Meditation. Google for a location close to where you are, and they'll walk you through how it works. And it was only a couple of days that I had to go in. I just practiced the meditation for myself. I didn't go to training to become a transcendental meditation teacher. So just to let you know, I wasn't going for the teaching component. I was actually going to receive the training so that I know how to personally meditate for myself through their process. So great question. Okay. Anne is saying that she did leave a question, and you know what? I betcha I probably missed it. So I am going to, pardon my reach, check my email because I usually get notified when a question comes through. I hope I do. One moment. But go ahead and feel free to keep leaving questions in the comment box as I search here. And remember, guys, I said I'm freestyling. So if you ever worried about getting yourself on camera and doing something like this, hey, look at me. I have no idea what the heck I'm doing, and I'm doing it. So there's no excuse for you either. You can do it too. Okay. Looking. Bear with me, guys. Hmm. Hi, Jen. Welcome. Still, if you're just joining us, I am looking for a question that was sent to me from a newsletter subscriber. By the way, if you're subscribed to my newsletter, which is called Brave Bear Insider, you are able to submit a question ahead of time. And so this is the question that was submitted ahead of time. And I am not doing a good job of finding it. I'm here though. I see the form now. And I am looking for the responses. And again, if you're joining us, I just said, if I have no idea what I'm doing and I am doing a Facebook Live and y'all are here, then there's no excuse for you. You can do it too. Bye, Lisa. Sorry you have to go. I know you're a busy gal. Thank you for coming today. Why can I not access that form? Oh, and I am so sorry. I can see the form and I'm not seeing a response. I know that you may have a little bit of a long question, but please feel free to ask away whatever it is that you wanted to ask. Um, that's fine. I'm okay with that. And it doesn't have to be super detailed either because, the message that wants to come through is going to come through, regardless of how long your question is. Oh, I appreciate you too, Jen. Thank you, dear. Okay, here's the question, Anne. Okay, I have a day job as a researcher slash consultant, and I like it about 70% of the time, but also tend to feel like something is missing, and I tend to spend pretty much all of my free time reading about taking courses or practicing intuitive spiritual wellness stuff. Yep, get it. I can't tell if I should try to integrate intuitive spiritual things into the work I do now somehow, change gears and switch to doing spiritual intuitive stuff as work instead and separately, or keep doing one as a job and the other as a hobby. Okay, great question. So I'm going to reframe the question so that everybody can understand because I'm already hearing very clearly what you're asking. So basically, you're doing a job that seems more pragmatic, very left-brained, very logical, but then all of a sudden you've got this very intuitive spiritual side of you that doesn't seem to use that same side of the brain. And so there's a couple of different paths you could potentially take. You could A, stay where you are and somehow intertwine that intuitiveness, the intuitive gifts, into the current work you're doing. So that obviously you can do your job better, but you can continue to stay in the job you're in, continue to kind of keep status quo with that. Another path could be you could completely leap out of that job and do this completely different thing, which is spiritual and intuitive in nature. But then obviously, taking that leap from here to here is scary and could take some time to develop and to feel as if you really are ready for it because, jumping from one thing to the other thing with cold feet can be very challenging. I get it. I've done it before, so I totally get it. And I don't always recommend doing that. And I think the third option, yes, the third option is do both, but keep them in like separate silos, right? So it's kind of like living a double life. Okay. And as you guys all know, anybody who's ever done any intuitive sessions with me, you know that I don't give you a yes or no answer and I don't tell you what to do. We all have free will, so we all have the ability to choose. What I can do for you, though, is to give you the clarity to understand the situation or situations, and then to provide you with some insight that I'm getting to tell you, okay, here's what I'm seeing, sensing, feeling, or hearing. Take from it what you hear, sense, or feel yourself, and then move forward with what feels best for you, what feels good and feels right for you. Okay, so with that, we're just going to dive into it, Anne. I'm going to allow the message to come through for you from your spirit team and others. Listen, even though this is Anne's question, this is relevant to many, if not all of you, because you've either been through something like this or you're currently going through this as well, or you may go through this in the future. Okay, so there's a path A, B, and C. Stay, leave, or keep both, but keep them separate. Okay, so what I'm already getting is why does it okay, so this is the question that's being asked. Why does it have to look a certain way? Why does it only have to be one choice? Why does it only have to be one path? Why can't all be true? Why can't all paths exist? Why can't all options be true? I'm also getting if you are completely done with, exhausted, and energetically, oh gosh, what's the word? Spent, I guess, with what you're currently doing, and it's no longer aligning with you, and you can't feel authentic, it's not enjoyable, then you need to start taking the measures to find out how you can leave it, how you can eventually take a leap, but don't take a leap with cold feet. Don't take a leap without figuring out how you're going to build those wings. And here's the reason why. Because you do have that pragmatic side of you, there's always going to be a part of you that needs to balance that creative, intuitive side and that more practical, logical. Here's what I know to be true, and here's what I've what the wisdom and the knowledge that I've built over time. And so if you step away from this and you move completely over here to, your spiritual and intuitive gifts, you, you're losing that yearning. And here's the thing, you're always going to crave for that pragmatic side of you to come out. You're going to need to do it in some way, shape, or form. It could be a job, it could be a project, it could be anything. But the reality is you're always going to need that logical, pragmatic side of you to come out because you do thoroughly enjoy that. You are good at it, and you've gained a lot of experience and a lot of wisdom doing it. So you're always going to want to have a certain component of that going on and have the other stuff um, kind of intertwining and weaving itself in that work you do. So if you decide to stay, you stay with what you do, but you now start to incorporate that intuitive and spiritual work into what you do so that you can be more authentically yourself. And see, my dog's barking now. um, she agrees. So you can more intuitively do what you do and do it even better so that that job becomes even more fulfilling. So that is kind of the outlook for if you continue in path A. Hush. Okay, now if you decide to completely take the leap and hey, hush, hush, settle down, settle down. Murphy's Law, right? If you do decide you want to leave because it's not for you, you've had it. Um, uh, as I said in the first path, you need a longer runway. You're going to need a long runway to prepare yourself. Hey, hush, hush, settle down. You're going to need a longer runway to prepare yourself from where you are to where you want to be, because it's not going to be that easy building a community, building clientele, building that, replacing that income overnight. Hey, hush. Um, 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Get over here. Hush. Oh my goodness. Hey, Q. Welcome. Okay. Anyway, if you're joining us now, my dog was barking in the middle of a channeling. So sorry, Anne and guys and gals. Okay. Yes, you're going to need a longer runway to prepare yourself, not only financially, but emotionally, mentally, psychologically, for everything that you're going to need to truly feel satisfied and to truly feel as if you're well equipped and prepared to do that thing that you want to do. So option B is good too, but be realistic and give yourself a long enough runway. It's not going to be overnight success. Hi, Corby. Okay. And then, by the way, Corby is awesome. If you haven't checked it out yet, she and I just filmed our first episode of season 2 of the Brave Bear Show. She was my first featured guest, featured expert. She's been on the show before. She's super amazing, psychic medium, certified tarot reader, soul plan person, intuitive author, amazing woman, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I know she's probably blushing right now that I'm bragging about her, but if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. That just launched on Saturday as well. The Brave Bear Show is what it's called. You can find it at bravebearuniversity.com/show, and you'll see Corby there. She's amazing. Okay, anyway, back to and that's part of the reason why Facebook Live is kind of weird to me, is you kind of feel a little ADD, going back and forth here and there, and I'm so used to having such structured conversations, but you know what? Maybe we need this candor, right? This realness, real talk. Okay, and then Anne, to kind of close up here, so option C, which the path is, kind of keeping both worlds separate um, and in so many words, like keeping them siloed and not having them touch each other. I don't believe that is, if you choose that option, I don't believe that is the best option for you. And in fact, of the three, this is the option that I would suggest you try to stay away from as long as you can, and here's why. if we have only so many hours in a day and so much time left in our lives, regardless of where you are, at the season of your life or career. And if we spend it doing things that drain our energy or that we don't enjoy what we do and we're not really shining being who we are and being able to offer, our gifts to the world, then it's kind of like living that vanilla life where everything is just meh, you know? You live with a lot of regret, you live with a lot of you kind of just are. You kind of just are, and it's like you don't take a stance. And I think for this option, if you chose this to be separate, I'm a closeted, spiritual person, intuitive, and then I have this job over here, and neither can know about each other. Um, I understand that it needs to happen maybe at the beginning as you're trying to feel out who you are and how you want to communicate that with people. But if you continue to hide from both worlds and not have them somehow sync up and align with each other, it is going to continue to drain your energy, and it is going to you're going to continue to feel unhappy and um, stagnant. And so you could choose this option, but is the least soul fulfilling option to keep things separate, because life is about finding who we are, peeling back the layers, and emerging as the more authentic version of ourselves. And option C would not allow you to do that. Okay, anyway, sorry for the distractions while you were getting this reading. And I hope that offers you some insight and clarity as to some of the options and choices that you have to choose from. But the great thing is that you have options. There isn't only one option, there isn't only one right answer, and only you know the right answer for you right now. And here's the other cool thing for you to know too, and this is for any of us, is that even if we do choose an option after being given a few options, know that the path that we take will still allow us to converge on the next path that we need to take to bring us to our final destination. But the journey is about exploring the paths as we take them. And so there really is no right or wrong path. They will all converge at some point. Some paths will take us somewhere quicker than others. Some paths will have less potholes in them than others. Um, but the, if you can walk away and know that there is no such thing as a wrong path, and that it's just some paths maybe are a little bit better than others, then that should fill you with a little bit more confidence to know that whatever decisions you make, and I'm not talking just Anne, all of us, that you make at this time will still lead you where you need to go eventually. Okay? So there's no such thing as I made a bad choice, I made a wrong choice. It's just what choice was best for me at this time, at this place, and the way I feel now, and what aligns with me now. And then you have a choice to change that path if you want to down the road or to continue on it. Okay? Okay, so you're welcome, Anne. Thank you for the question. All right. Past my time. Oh my God, you guys. It's 5 after 11. Horrible time management. I'm sorry. We're gonna go. We are gonna go. So before we close up here, I want to thank all of you for showing up today. Thank you for the wonderful questions. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for bearing with me as I try to figure out my first Facebook Live. I think I will try it again. So we'll come back here again for the next Shikiki Mondays. And then on top of that, if you want any more information on ways that you can get more support from me outside of the free coaching on Shinkeki Mondays, like I said, you can go and check out any free episodes of the Brave Bear Show where I am bridging the gap between you guys, anybody who's new to spirituality or new to this intuition, or you're building your budding business and you want to be connected to brilliant teachers and mentors and guides that I've gone to. That is at the Brave Bear Show, which you can find at bravebearuniversity.com. And if you're looking for more guidance and more hands-on help and support, I have just opened up an online hub this Saturday. I launched it, which I'm going to offer intuitive coaching and training. So I'm going to offer free and affordable courses and workshops where you can work with me kind of like this live. And that will be available at my new hub, which is called heybravebear.com. And I know there's a lot that I'm working on, a lot of stuff I'm giving away right now. So you're like, okay, there's too many things to bookmark, Bernie. What's the best way to stay connected with you and know what you're working on? Best way to do that is become a member. So go to Brave Bear, um, sorry, become a Brave Bear Insider, which you can join over at heybravebear.com/join. Basically, it's a free newsletter email I send out to everybody, and I curate all the stuff that is making my heart sing at this time, and then sharing it with you, as well as any upcoming programs, any upcoming workshops, any free programs or offerings like this, as well as the opportunity to get free readings from me, kind of like how we did here today for Anne and for Frank. Um, but anyway, become a Brave Bear Insider. That's the best way to stay connected. So, heybravebear.com/join. And hopefully, if you liked this, you'll share this with other people and come back. So, as far as I know, I should be back here next Monday, 10 a.m. Central Time. Time might change if for some reason something doesn't work out, but I'm going to try to keep it in the morning. But thank you all for joining me today. Thank you so much for all the support and the wonderful questions. And I look forward to seeing you in the Brave Bear community. Bye, guys.